Welcome to the GameChanger 00100 show. I am your host, GameChanger. So, what's the difference? About 25 years ago, I remember this whole hoopla about R.Kelly. Um, he likes them young. He likes them young, not legally young, at least not legal in most states, without the consent of the parents. So, he used that to follow his desire. And his desire is to urinate on teenage girls. That is his desire. Once again, I said it before and I said it again. What goes on between consenting adults is just that, consenting adults. R. Kelly is something different. But what I want to talk about is the backlash. The backlash. In fact, let me change the title. What's the difference between the R. Kelly backlash and the Shannon Sharpe backlash? And that is, this is from somebody who is old enough to have been there and been an adult during the time. Was an adult? Well, somebody who was there. The difference is that everybody's quiet. Everybody was quiet when it was R. Kelly. There was no backlash. There was no, he shouldn't be with those young girls. And I'm not even talking about like when the trials were coming up. I'm talking about prior to that. Like he married Aaliyah when she was like 16 years old. The parents signed the permission slip and all that stuff. And there you go. A 16-year-old, gorgeous bride. What were black women saying then? What were the whispers on the streets? Were they trying to cancel R. Kelly, or did they just buy his latest album in droves? And then when it was rumored that he had like a whole harem of other, young girls, some of whom are underage, where was the backlash? It was silence. It was silence. Through the whole thing, all you heard was silence. There was nothing. Not a creature was stirring, not even a beast. Notice that? So then, you fast forward 20 some odd years later, and you have this Shannon Sharpe thing. And all he did was consent to being with an adult human being. He consented with a consensual adult. And now you get all the backlash. Oh, we need to cancel him. We need to take him out. We're not going to support him. First of all, he's not asking for your support. No, listen. When do black women, or excuse me, when do black men ask for black women's support? Now, of course, they ask for it like, if they need somebody to support their local business or something like that. But do they ask for it do they ask for it after they get deleted by the police? No. Black women, first of all, they offer support for the sake of their own attention. I'm going to repeat that. They offer support for the sake of their own attention. It's like, yeah, let's march. Like, why? The person that you're marching for is gone. Like, what are you accomplishing by doing this? Well, I get to, you're looking for something to do. You're looking for something to do, to be seen, a story to tell. Like, yes, I participated in this particular march, this particular rally. You're just looking for something to do and get attention while doing it. It's really not about the person at hand. And of course, the person didn't ask for it. Like Stephon Clark did not ask for you to march for him. So we never really ask for their support on anything because their support really amounts to nothing. Like when you stop and think about it, It doesn't change verdicts or anything like that. It does nothing. Same thing with Jonathan Majors. Like, what did, of course, he got Megan Good support, but that's an individual who he just so happened to have loved. Or, excuse me, he still do love. But nobody is asking for the support of these bareback, or these broadback women. Nobody wants, we don't, if anything, it's a bad look. Remember Trayvon Martin? He got the support of some chick, Rachel Jontel, and things got worse because she's stupid and she's fat. But more importantly, she's stupid. So for the most part, the support is not needed. But would they say we're not going to support him? Like, oh no, please don't take away your such useful support. When they say, we're not going to support him, what they really mean to say, what they, desire to say is that we are going to actually work against you. Because it's not like they're being silent. It's like, yeah, we're not going to support you, which means is, we're going to be vocal against you. We're going to make it clear that if society tries to railroad you, we will not be there, and we will help. We will aid in the endeavor of society trying to railroad you. And we're going to get into the details of that. But first, I'm going to look up the short of the day because there was a really good one, but I seen it a couple of days ago. I'm going to have to find it before I can get it to you. In the meantime, y'all hit that like button and hit the comment section. I'm going to, not the comment section, but the chat room, because I am going to respond to that. Okay, actually, this wasn't the one I was looking for, but I like it anyway. And I'll show y'all why I like it. Okay, so I'll let y'all hit the like button. And we are going to see. All right, so all right. These women are attractive. I'm going to point that out. These women are attractive, fellas. I've come to realize that some black men are afraid to call light-skinned women attractive for fear of being seen as color struck. And some of them are willing to even go as far as to second guess themselves. Meaning that, okay, I think she's attractive, but what if I'm only thinking that because of blah, 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 because of systemic colorism and media promote? No, they're attractive because slim waist, pretty face, and I like the inside of this one's titties. That's why they're attractive. I don't trust women with ugly sandals. Why in the world are you looking at her sandals when you got inside titties showing? We'll touch on that later. Let's play it.
Why do you look so sad? I'm not sad.
Yeah, babe, what are you talking about?
Girl, it's okay. Come here. Girl, you smell good. Like some tropical fruit I could just eat all day. Thank you. Stay blessed, beautiful.
Table's ready. Come on. Heard this place is hella good.
No. Oh my God.
Babe, what's wrong?
Now you know you can't be caught lacking in public with no lip gloss on them juicy fruit lips. Come here. Oh my God! I got a parking ticket! We were only in there for 5 minutes!
Damn, how much is it?
Oh my God! $250!
For a parking
as beautiful as you. It was great spending the day with you, bestie.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I had fun. I'll see you guys next time. Okay, drive
No,
safe.
you will not see her next time. Y'all think y'all slick. I see what's going on here.
What are you talking about?
You're a cheater and you're a homewrecker.
No. Bro, why do you look so...
Okay, clearly we're dealing with a sandal fetish guy here. Okay, I will give it to you. You know, I would smash both of them, even if they had Lord Jesus sandals on. Even if they had like some Moses burning sand sandals, I would still smash both of them. I don't really have a particular opinion about either of their sandals, but if I did and they were ugly, yeah, I wouldn't care. For whatever reason, knowing that their sandals are ugly make me want to smash them some more. For whatever strange reason. And that's that. All right. So now that we got the short of the day out of the way, let's get to the main topic. So I was watching Danica yesterday. What was it, yesterday or the day before? And she was talking about this Shannon Sharpe situation. And in the talk was and everybody know I love my little sis, but just like she got to call out Shannon Sharpe, got to call her out. Got to say what's on my mind about that, because there was a bit of why he messing with them young girls. He did wrong by listen, fellas. There's a certain satisfaction of knowing that there's an egg there. I'm going to repeat that. There's a certain I got a super chat. There's a certain satisfaction of knowing that there's an egg there. Meaning that you can have like a 50-year-old, you know, and she still looks like that prom queen thing. But there's no egg there. And it does bother me. See, the whole point, part of the fun of XEXXX, part of the fun of SEXXX is trying not to get her pregnant. And also, for those of you who are trying, part of the fun is trying to get her pregnant. Either way, the purpose is you're either trying to get her pregnant or you're trying not to get her pregnant. That is the desire of the SEXXX. A part of it. That part is taken away from when, no matter how attractive, they just are not eggy. So that being said, if you have a desire for younger, hotter, sexier, childless, what Shannon Sharpe do, I don't see nothing wrong. That is your prerogative. That is your prerogative. And if you have some, you know, if you like to talk about chocolate babies and crap like that during the thing, I don't care. I am not going to judge you. Oh, crap. Sweet Melody Media want to talk crap. All right. Rest in peace. Where was this fire when you had Alan Roger Curry on your show? Where was the fire when, in fact, come on up. Where was that fire when you had Alan Roger Curry on your show, who, you know, married a PYT before he, you know, went to the upper room? Rest in peace. What was all that? What was all that? Oh, you know, yeah, but she's so young. She's so young. He was in his 50s. What are you talking about? You're talking about like what, 3 years or so? No, you see, here's the thing, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to like the selective outrage. No, he's 56. Shannon Sharpe is 56, and he was younger when she was younger, when this whole thing started first going down. But it don't matter. We're talking about like a 3 or 4 year difference. We're talking about like a 3 to 4 year difference, you know, when we're talking about dozens and tens of years. No, it is not that big a concern. Listen, it is a man in his 50s, right near I say duty to get young booty. There is nothing wrong with that. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing illegal. And that's more importantly. But society want to hold the judge to him. Now, I'm gonna say, where were these women at? Hold on. I mean, where were these women at when R.Kelly was boinking Aaliyah? I'm gonna tell you where they were. They were boinking R.Kelly too. You see, they don't have a problem with these age gap situations as long as they're the young ones in the mix. As long as they're the ones that are the PYTs in the mix, they have no problem with this. But the moment that they are, eggless and stuff like that, then that's when they have a problem. Like, how can you get with those young girls the same way you got with those old men when you was a young girl?
I ain't go that old now. That's too old.
That
60.
is not okay. So where's the line? Well, there is no line in the penis to where a man has to say, I am too old for young women. Never. You're never too old for young women.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, even what's that guy's name? That old white guy that's with that girl that's like 50 something years younger.
Don Sterling.
Yeah, it just
Go for it. Hello? Okay, she's getting her mic together. Listen, yes, it's nasty, but they're rich. They're rich. And Shannon Sharpe is not on some Mr. Burns stuff. It's not like he's unhealthy, old dude, you know. It's nothing
well,
like that. Huh?
I
I
do.
can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I didn't hear you before. I hear you now.
Oh, I was saying I do find him unattractive, but that's me. I
Hmm.
mean, obviously they saw something in him, which is probably the fact that he's on ESPN or whatever. What is he, a ex-football player too? I'm not sure what he does, but yeah, I mean, that's the only reason. If he was just a regular guy, I'm sure that wouldn't be going down like that.
So you're saying that Kevin Samuels was wrong when he said that, he got to beat the young ones off with a stick. You're saying that that's wrong.
No, Kevin Samuels I thought was cute. Kevin Samuels is cute. he's different. And plus he's younger than this guy. This
May
guy
he rest in, may he rest in peace also. We're talking
yeah.
about the difference between like mid and early 50s. Kevin was clearly lying. No, he was clearly dying next to a young woman. Don't come here just saying stuff. She was half his age.
Listen, when I
My
was
point
I'm
is,
going back. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
my point is that my point is that men like younger women of all age. And it's the older women who don't like that fact. So they like to attack. They like to shame a man for his own desires for that younger, hotter, sexier, childless woman.
And I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Then
But
why are you down on Shannon Sharpe? Like, yeah, but he's so old, it don't matter. There isn't like a level of oldness that it doesn't apply to.
you don't think it's a little weird being damn near 60 messing with teenagers? I mean, let's be honest. Damn near 60 messing with teenagers.
No, I don't think it's weird at all. I think it's a perfectly natural thing. Listen, when I was a teenager, right? And I'm not talking about like 19, even though this was a thing, but not as big of a thing when I was 19. When I was a teenager, like 15, 16, that was the worst competition. Once it became clear that she was willing to date older guys, and these older guys were willing to run the risk of, the law. Once that became very clear, then we were no competition. They all driving and stuff, got mustaches and apartments. What I got?
Right. But listen, those teenagers liked older
No,
men.
didn't you like older guys
Yes, but I
when
didn't
you
like
was a
men in their
teenager?
60s. My mom was only like in her 40s when I was a teenager. I wasn't
Mhm.
going older than my mom. I think that's weird as F to go that old as a teenager.
Okay, but okay, even if what you say is true, and it is weird AF, and I'll get to you, Shot. You got weird things to say. I'll get to you. Listen, even if it is weird, it's weird on the teenager. It's not weird on a man to be attracted to fertility and youth at any age. What, you think he's supposed to be attracted to some Vivica Fox looking chick? You think he's supposed to be attracted to some, what's her name? Tracy Ellis Ross looking chick? No. So what else is there? I ask you that. If not young women, then what women?
I'm saying like women, you can go 24, 25, mid 20s. That's young for him. For a
Mm-hmm.
60-year-old man, mid 20s is very young. Get a mid 20 woman. Get a early 30s woman. Why you got to go down to a teenager? That's
I'm gonna tell you
weird.
something.
That's weird. I'm
I'll tell you
sorry.
something. For the most part, we don't care. And I'm not in my 50s, but I could tell you a long time ago I stopped like noticing the difference between a 22-year-old and a 19-year-old on a physical spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like they don't know the difference between a 52-year-old and a 56-year-old. It's just hard to like gauge the difference in age at that point.
Mm-hmm.
There is a turn on to knowing that she is barely legal. That's why they have that genre of porn, barely legal. There is a turn on with that concept. And that's nothing for a man to be ashamed of. And white men aren't ashamed of this. It's nothing for a man to be ashamed of by being turned on by barely legal women. That is what you want. The key word is legal.
But look,
You
when
see,
you mention
we depolice black men far too long, far too often. And it's come to an end.
GC, nobody's trying to depolice black men. But look what happened to Shannon Sharpe. You mess around, what they say, you play around in the snow, you get a frostbite. You play around with young people, you get what's coming to you.
Well, you
Like,
play
okay,
around in the dirt and you get herpes. Okay? It's
right,
not,
right,
it's,
right. Absolutely. I agree.
Depolicing is very important for society. That's why you do it, because older men will ruin these younger women for the younger men in their peer group.
mhm.
You can date down, but there are very specific social venues where it's acceptable, right? If you hang out in certain upper class neighborhoods, there's always a bar or a club designed for sugar babies and sugar daddies to kind of meet each other, right? I lived in West Palm Beach, Florida, north of Miami. That's a big area for that, where you'll see many of those age gap relationships. Shannon was involved in professional sports commentary, which is a family friendly business environment, right? Kids have favorite sports figures. He's always talking about LeBron. In his situation, he should have moved much more carefully.
Mhm. No, he don't have to. See, his part of his situation is that he's a black man. I mean,
So,
Donald Trump could grab all the pussy he wants, and he's old as hell. And he was elected twice to be president. Nobody said crap about it. Like,
no,
how
many people say crap about it. Donald Trump had to
okay,
go
okay.
through
Well, let's put it like
lawsuits.
this. Put it like this. He did not get the damaging effect that society intended for him, and that's because for one, he owned it. You see, you gotta own it.
I disagree. I think Trump managed to overcome that because he appealed to an even baser instinct of his fans, right? He did a lot of race baiting. He talked about Ukraine. So many people recognized that Donald Trump was a flawed moral character, but they thought they could wield him as a weapon against people they hate more, which in this case are
for
the
whatever thing,
liberal
for whatever
Democrats and so
reason,
on.
for whatever reason, he stuck to his guns and he won. And what I'm saying is he need to and he unapologetically did it. What I'm saying is people like Shannon Sharpe, and the and the Jonathan Majors it don't help to not just say, listen, I'm a man and this is what I want. I'm rich and I like choking young white bitches. And that's just is what it is. And there is no shame in it.
No.
Everybody listening
Now,
likes
that's
to
you see, when you say things like that, you're telling me that you're unintelligent because you're pretending that these consequences.
All right.
Oh, what happened?
I got rid of. There's nothing wrong with a man saying that he likes to choke young white bitches.
No, I'm not saying that though. Like, I understand, GC. You know, I've been in this space for a long time. I understand all of that. But what I'm saying is, somebody in the chat said it. There should be an age limit. Like, don't go lower than 20. Okay, you like younger women, cool. But why?
I can't hear you. I'm gonna read super chats.
You didn't hear anything I said?
No, I heard right after you said you like the younger women.
No, and I was saying there's nothing wrong. You know that. There's nothing wrong with liking younger women. I was a younger woman. I liked older men. But why you got to go all the way down to 18, 19? That's just way too young. That's your
Why do you
grand.
have to put a line on it? There's already a line on it. It's called the law. And the law says, at least in my state, that the age of consent is 18. And he followed that law. Like, so, okay. Let's just say
But look what happens when you go to 18. They're immature. Like this girl, she was immature. That's why she put him on blast. That's why she's doing what she's doing.
okay.
Like, you
And I
gotta,
said this
you
on
gotta be
Danica's.
smarter.
I said this on Danica's. What about those Cosby bitches? How old were the Cosby bitches? Why are y'all acting like, there's something women don't mature? Let's be clear. They don't get better with time. They get worse. They get fattier, less eggier, and moodier, and more menopausal. They don't get better with time. I know that there's not like you're supposed to get like some sage Yoda wise chick that just understands and she's going to assess your penis. No, you don't get that. They don't get better with time. They get better details like Vivica Fox, and quite frankly, Lisa Ray looks like she smells funny. She looks like she got that old woman vinegar smell. They don't get better with time. And what do you mean? Like they're not more mature. They're not more mature. They act like children still. They act like old children.
Understood.
It's the worst of both worlds. Stop pretending like this is Big Mama days, where the women just in time they become more churchy and they learn how to cook better. No, they get worse. They get worse. They get worse, and they try to go to the club with their granddaughters, wonder why the dudes are looking at the granddaughter. That is what actually happens.
I get it. I guess. I don't know.
Listen, there is a window of opportunity. Fortunately, yours haven't closed yet for you. There is a window of opportunity. Mm-hmm. And no, I meant Lisa Ray. And that was a weird episode of Black Mirror. No, because Issa Rae is still reasonably young. I was talking about Lisa Ray.
Yeah, she's like 50s, right? Like 50
she's
something.
Too damn old for my penis. She's too damn. And yes, I would have loved to have smashed Diamond, but now that Diamond has turned back into coal, and it's old coal too. It's man.
I wanted to hear what that guy had to say though. That was funny. Why you drop him?
Oh no, I'm like I don't because I really didn't plan on. I put the link out there for you. I really didn't plan on talking to anybody else, and he's like, oh well, that makes it sounds unintelligent, and tried to put me on the defense of my own intelligence. I'm like, listen, I don't have time for crap like that. Yeah. I put the thing up there for you. And that's what I do because I don't really have chat rooms like that, or I don't really have open panels like that.
Right. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm just seeing in a different lens, I'm just seeing it differently. I just think 19 is way too old for 60. That's my opinion.
19 is way too young for 60.
I mean, I'm sorry. Way too young for 60. I feel like 60 is like great-grand.
I think that great-grandpas, since the beginning of the time, have been smashing 19-year-olds. So let me ask you this then. At what age is this okay?
To do 19? Well, somebody
Yes.
that say it 20 years said it like 20 years, maybe 40. I mean, maybe 39. I don't know. If you want to go older, there should be a cap. 60, that's, I mean, come on, think about it. 60, the pole barely works at 60, I'm sure.
Mhm.
You know, he
Well,
probably,
it barely works with 60-year-old women, but it's obviously working with this 19-year-old.
I don't know, maybe.
You're breaking up. It obviously worked with this 19-year-old.
Maybe. But then I say you mentioned older people smell funny, right? They have like elderly people have a smell to them. And you said a few things. It's just a lot of weird things about that.
Hmm.
Think about it. He's your senior. He's 20 years, damn near 20 years your senior. Like, he's old. I wouldn't even mess with a 60 something year old. That's too old.
He's not 20 years my senior. I look younger than I am, you know that. But he's not 20 years my senior. I'm in my 40s. He's in his 50s. Okay, she's out again. Let me say this.
What is he, like 10 or 15 years
Was not
older than you?
20.
Yeah, but he's still a lot
Not
older.
36. Yeah, he's a lot older. I'm just saying, yeah.
Right. It's just weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Why is it so wrong? I'm gonna tell y'all why. It's because she's white. Y'all don't want to say it, you don't want to say it, but it's because she is white. Because she's white skinned. And that is the difference between him and R. Kelly. Because his monies isn't going to the sisterhood. And
Uh,
that's what it see. With
that can
R.
be.
Kelly, his monies was going to the sisterhood. His
Mhm.
monies was going to the parents. It went to like hush money. He had to hush the girls. He had to hush the mother, and all of this was sisterhood funds. But in this case, it's not going to the sisterhood.
Mm.
It's going to the society of big booty white women, and they don't like the society of big booty white women.
I guess.
Shannon is creepy. Yeah, he creepy until you smashing him. Until you smashing him, then he's creepy. I'm gonna read D Scott's super chat. It says, "How about men do what the fuck they want? Find your lane, Melanie." Also, think about Brian Banks when you mention playing in the snow. Absolutely, Brian Banks was a guy that was railroaded.
Hmm.
This was a young man with a promising career in football, and he got a false accusation. But you don't have to stop there. Think about Mike Tyson. Think
Hmm.
about Clarence Thomas. Like this isn't like a play in the snow thing.
Well, I guess when you play in the jungle, you'll get the same results, whether
Yeah,
it's the snow or the jungle. So I don't know.
exactly. So if you're going to, try to smash a gorilla and you don't want it to be a silverback, then yeah. Listen, we are like rabbits. We like eggs. Wait, it's too close to Easter. I'm confused. Whatever creature out there likes eggs, that's us. We like eggs. We like knowing that there's, even if you're wearing a condom, we like knowing that there's an egg there. There's nothing wrong with that. But these bitter women are pretending as if this is about age. It's not. It wasn't about age when they were 19, boinking 50-year-olds. So they can have money for a new CD player.
No, 50 was too old. 19, maybe 35 to like maybe even 40, but 50 was too old at 19.
You saying that because that was your cap, and I get it. That's a cap to have for you. I had a cap too. Um, as far as how young I would go,
Yeah.
mine was around half my age plus 7. However, I reserve the right to take my cap off at my discretion. In fact, I dated an 18-year-old. I told Bernard about this. I dated an 18-year-old not too long ago. Not this year. It was either last year or the year before.
18, GC.
What do you mean, GC?
That's young.
It's 1 year younger. It's 1 year younger than this chick, and I'm several years younger than Shannon Sharpe. But it is nothing wrong with that.
How'd that go? How'd it go? How'd it go? Dating a 19-year-old.
It didn't go well. It didn't go well. She asked me for weed money, and I said it's complicated.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the mentality is so weird. Like 18 to me is still a kid.
Holy crap!
I'm gonna tell you, it's still a kid because I have a 13-year-old nephew. It's like, I don't know. I have nieces, nephews around that age. It's just too young. They're still children to me. The boys and the girls. So it's like seeing a older man in his 50s and 40s dating a 18-year-old. That's weird as hell. I'm sorry. It just is.
Okay. I was in my 40s. It wasn't weird. She was weird. You know, I didn't find it weird at all. I didn't have fun. And see, here's the thing, Melody, you are behaving as if there is a huge maturity gap. You think that the same crap that I heard from this young broad, I didn't hear from older chicks. You think that women in their 30s didn't ask for weed money or no crap like that in my life? No, it's the same type of crap. No matter where I go, they're not mature.
And thinking about it at 18, like, because I was once an 18-year-old, so I know how immature I was. My brain wasn't fully developed. And thinking back on it.
Holy crap.
What?
When do a woman's brain develop? Let me know that magic year that a woman's brain develops.
Well, I got more mature in my 20s. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. Answer me this. How come grandma got mature at 14? I'm talking my grandma. How come she got mature at 14? How come she got mature the day she started bleeding, but modern women take an extra 10 years? And now it looks like they take an extra 40 years. Like, when is Tisha Campbell ever going to get mature?
No, like, you're going too old. You're going old as hell.
No, what I'm saying is that they're still not mature. We live in a society, in a community, in a world where these women are old as hell and still not mature.
You're right. You're right. But I'm saying, like, if you want someone young, hot, with her eggs intact, beautiful, gorgeous, how you guys say, go to 25. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with 25?
Yes.
Right. What's wrong with 25? What's wrong with 26? Why you got to go all the way down to 18?
See, here's the thing. I would have dated the girl if she was 26. I mean, it's not like listen. Hold on. I would have dated the girl if she was 25.
Right. No, I get it. And I'm not just saying it's about men, women too. Like, these women are disgusting. Like, look at Drea Michelle, that her name? Look at her dating younger guys. It's just weird. I don't know. I look at it both ways.
Yeah, and not to mention Tracy Ellis Ross. She's like, and we're gonna cover that.
Yeah, like all of them, everybody. I just think it's weird to go that young. But that's my opinion. We all.
What are y'all talking about? Frontal lobe thing? Is there a frontal lobe thing that happened to a woman at 25?
What's that?
There's nothing. They're saying that, I don't know. When you turn 25, something happens to your frontal lobe, and next thing you know, you're more mature. You stop going to the club and you start fixing me breakfast and getting me a sandwich. Like, what? No, there's nothing. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Stop believing these broads. There is no sexual peak. There is no frontal lobe. I'm going to repeat that. Wherever they say, oh yes, at this age we get better because of this is bullshit. It is. It's just some made up crap. There's no sexual peak. When was the last time you heard a guy that's been married for 20 years and he says, yeah, all of a sudden when my wife turned 40, she couldn't get enough? No, there isn't. That's just something that women who are single in their 40s say to try to get men into their gray-haired vajayjay. That is what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank period. It's a trick. It's a trap. Shout out to Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. It's a trap. They don't have like a new peak. They have just become more compromising with the box to steer you away from younger women. That's their way of trying to sell me old box.
Not old
and
box.
The same thing with frontal lobe. And the same thing with frontal lobe. Like, oh, don't you want a woman with a frontal lobe? What the hell? That sounds like crap. That sounds like some made up crap. Like, oh man, I've been dipping into some bad frontal lobes. No. Things do not get better. You don't get like a new frontal lobe. Why you got to go to how come the people that graduate college don't have a frontal lobe? Why not wait until the frontal lobe is developed before you start teaching people anything?
Mr. Snazzy said they said it isn't fully developed until 25.
They are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a frontal lobe. Whatever they is, they don't have a frontal lobe to say some crap like that. People get their masters like at 24 and stuff. What, yeah. They did that without their frontal lobe? Let me tell y'all something about from the point of view of a man in his 40s. Mm-hmm. Everything gets worse. There's no upside to this. Everything gets worse. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of if there's anything that gets better besides my bank account. Nothing comes to mind. Everything gets worse. My vision stayed the same, fortunately. And this is coming from a guy who things haven't gotten really bad for. I still got my hair, and stuff like that. Like, things haven't gotten bad, but I could tell you that everything's get worse. Like, I have to work out harder just to maintain reasonable shape. Why? Because things getting worse. You think when I was 17, I could just wake up and eat Cinnabons for breakfast.
Yeah.
And I did. With no repercussions.
I can eat a whole pie of pizza.
Nope. Everything gets worse. Now, women try to market their vagina and convince you that something gets better. Nope. Each and every single aspect of it gets worse. The eggs get less eggier. The titties get less upper. The booty gets less shakier. And they get wrinklier and stuff. Oh, and don't let them be white. It's all kind of like freckles and blue veins and crap going on. Everything gets worse.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's going on?
I said that's why his preference is snow bunnies. That's probably why he has to go all the way down to 19, because a 25-year-old snow bunny looks like a 40-year-old. So you got to go. That's probably why he liked that young age range when it comes to white girls. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Okay. See, understand this, Melody. What men put their penis into isn't always going to be 100% reflection of what he likes. It's going to be a reflection of the best of what is willing to sleep with him. Mm-hmm. And this goes out to you Southern brothers too, who say stuff like, oh yeah, I like them big. No, she is just the best representation of what is willing to sleep with you. So just because, you see him with a 19-year-old white girl doesn't mean that he prefers 19-year-old white girls. It means that she is the best representation of what is willing to sleep with him. meaning that he probably would rather be like I would with Chloe Bailey. However, I'm not going to kick a thick 19-year-old white girl out my bed. We don't always see. It's not like women who always get their first choice, at least sexually speaking. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there is that. Now I got some work to do, so I'm gonna get into the. You're welcome to stay, but I'm gonna get into the crux of everything.
Okay, cool.
New Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhone and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store. I admire that you're able to not let the comments bother you at all.
Cheers to the comments. Coffee, Lord, espresso, 3 shots. Here we go.
Is that Razor Rays or is that? I'm asking in the chat room. Is that Razor Rays or is that somebody who's shaped like him and sound different?
44.
Okay, 44. You look good for 44. I thought you were younger.
Thank you.
Okay. So Tyree owns a software company, 44 Aquarius, dad of 2 by his ex-wife. And I think we can do it. What kind of woman are you looking for?
Fit, feminine, friendly.
Yeah. What's the age range you want to date, sir?
Say that again, Kendra?
What age range would you like to date?
I would say 18 to
We can't say 18.
19.
So at 44 years old, you would date an 18-year-old girl?
It's late.
You see the disdain she had?
Well, you have to be 21 years old.
It's the same disdain that you just gave me.
No, well, you have to be 21 and older to come on her show. So anybody under the age of 21, she don't allow like to come on or whatever. So that's just her rules.
Okay. He didn't know that rule. I didn't know that rule. So he was just saying 18 to whatever, because that is what he prefers. But, basically he'll just say whatever the minimum age is. However, she took it a step further and say, you would date an 18-year-old as if he's doing something wrong.
I mean, it is a little weird to society. Let's be honest. It's a little weird. But I mean,
society is weird.
Right. It's just weird. I don't know. Everybody have their own opinion. Like I said, I'm all for older men dating younger women, but it should be a cap.
Everything before the word "but" is BS.
Yeah, you always said that. There should definitely be a cap. But
what's the cap for a 44-year-old man?
Hey, what do I know? I mean, 44, 20 years. 24.
So you're saying that a 66-year-old man got to date a 46-year-old broad?
Well, now when you're getting that old, maybe when you're really, really old, like elderly, let's say 30. That's just my opinion. That's just Melody talking. I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah. Whatever.
There you go.
Now, Tyree.
Oh, Kendra. Kendra.
So you would date a person younger than your children?
I have.
So that's and that's not honesty. That doesn't feel any way to you.
Society shuns it. Society shuns black men. Listen, black men, I want y'all to access y'all inner Bobby Brown and understand that you're a freak. I've been a freak ever since puberty, ever since I had a sex drive. I've always been like an outlier in my sexual desires. And you want to know what the brothers and sisters said when I went to college about how I like to get down? Like handcuffing and spanking bitches and shit like that, and choking. They said that's some white people shit. I'm not white.
I don't think it's white.
But that's how they perceive it because they're the only ones who are free to express themselves sexually as they desire.
Mm-hmm.
We are supposed to be repressed. We're supposed to feel guilty about our desires to choke a bitch. We're supposed to feel we're supposed to feel guilty about our desire to eat white ass. We supposed to feel guilty about that.
Oh God.
But no, we as black men need to say proudly, I am a black man and I love eating white ass. I do. And I'm not talking about in the hole. I'm talking about I like to bite the outer part, the ass part, the cheek part. I like to bite the cheek part, and I like to do it on white women because I can see my teeth marks. They turn red after I do it. I can see like the bite there after I do it, and you don't see it as much on black women.
Unless they light skin.
Huh? Unless you light skin.
Light skin. Mm-hmm.
That's my pleasure. And when you smack a white ass, you see your handprint turn red too. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to open ourselves up to the greater society, and you find out that you like stuff that you should not be ashamed of liking.
Oh, TMI. Somebody said white women's butts taste better. I can't.
I don't taste it.
He just bite the outside. See,
bite it.
You're going too far now. Just bite it.
Yeah,
God.
I don't taste it. I mean, maybe he's right. I don't know. Like, I guess it would be the sweat because it's just like flesh. It's just like nibbling on her neck. And I haven't found like a difference between black women and white women on that. But hey, you know something I don't know.
Booty is booty.
No, the optics of it.
I mean, hey, I'm not a man, so I don't know.
Yeah. What, you don't bite ass?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm not homo. I'm straight. So.
No, I'm talking about a man's ass. I don't know
Bite
what
a
you
man's
like.
ass?
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't bite men's ass. I don't know. I don't know what you like. I'm just saying what you like. What you like.
Yeah, I never did that.
Okay. Well, there you go.
How would it? It's legal. Jailbreakers, kids, little kids, especially. I would say like never ago. Bad manners, leaving the toilet seat up. That's a
Why would a woman leave the toilet seat up?
Yes, women leave the toilet seat up. Yeah, the second lid.
Okay, could the first lid be up?
No.
Oh, so you want no? Okay, so you're saying you don't want a woman that leaves up the first lid of a toilet.
Correct. Where you can actually see it physically inside the bowl. I don't like that. You know, my ex-wife is white. My kids are mixed, so there's that. Yeah, but I've dated everything. I mean, I was raised dynamically, so every race is open for business.
Have you ever been in a relationship with a black woman?
Yes.
Okay, so relationship
my first
your girlfriend.
Yeah, my first girlfriend was black, but I had to left her because I didn't think she looked good enough to present to the public.
Black men are known to like their salads tossed. No, we are not. No, we are not. We're not known to like anything but fat, ugly heifers.
And a lot of DL men like their booty licked too.
Okay. Well, that's different. I mean, they're homosexuals.
Right.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Listen, we're not known to like anything out of the norm sexually. I know because I like stuff out of the norm, and I'm looked at as an outlier as a result of it.
The only thing I find you weird for, GC, you said one time on your show you don't like eating the box. That's weird to me because most men do.
I don't like eating boxes.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Well, no, here's the thing, Melody. I don't know if they like it or not. I will say that most men are willing to do it, especially in a conversation with you. I mean, what are they going to say? No, they want to have sex with you. So, you know, if you walk up to a guy and say, "Hey, do you like eating pussy?" What are they gonna say? No at that point. What the fuck? You're not gonna get like a straight answer from them. You get it from me. And no, I don't eat the box except on rare occasions.
Then you're not a
Rare
true freak.
occasions.
So you're not a true freak because you said
Well, I'm
you're a
not that
freak.
type of freak. We all have kinks. We all have kinks and desires. I express the ones that I have, and you know, there are some that I don't have that may be commonplace. And that includes eating box. And that's for a number of reasons. But the primary reason that I'm not really much of a box eater is because of my overwhelming fear of herpes.
But you can get herpes anyway. It don't even have to be eating box. It can be other things too. So.
You're more likely to get it eating box. Yes, you can get it from kissing and stuff. And I do like to kiss. But you know, it increases your chances of herpes. And yes, you could get it through intercourse, but I look at it and see if there's any herpes around it. And if I don't see any herpes around it, then I proceed with the sex. I give like a little check, not like a long one. I'm not like in there with a magnet. But
you got let me see, spread. You be like spread open. Let me see.
No, I do get a glance. I don't like, at least the first time. Like I don't like just put it in the dark, which a lot of brothers do.
Oh my God.
The argument for that is that she could have it, but it's deep inside of her. But I use a condom for that. So, you know, if it's deep inside her, I just worry about like the outer rim. Now, the thing is that if you're eating box and it's deep inside of her, then you're more likely to get it if you're eating it. And that
I get what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah. So, you know, that is part of the reason. And then another part is I don't like women who like to have their box eaten. And I know you like to have your box eaten. But the reason why I don't like women who like to have their box eaten is because sex is and should be all about my pleasure. And if she wants her box eating, then that means that she's doing it for her pleasure, not mine.
No, some men get something out of it. It's a lot of men.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to admit. A lot of men like that.
I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm saying like, you know, I like knowing that she's in it for my pleasure.
I get what you're saying. And Joelle, you're right. Nowadays, forget about it. Women had like 100 bodies, like probably even more than 100 bodies out here talking about, can you eat it? Like, nah, it's disgusting.
Tyree, I'm trying my hardest to sit here and listen with an open mind. But now you got, should the woman make a certain amount of money?
Baby don't need to work. I need her like in the kitchen making sandwiches, and you know, and you know.
He's been around you too much. He been watching your show, GC.
Closing deals in her mini skirt as she goes to clients. You know?
Okay, now I feel like you're trolling me.
No, I'm being dead ass serious.
So she's a lawyer. Let's quit her law degree and become your wife, make your sandwiches, and go get the leads for your
not sandwiches, but yeah,
company.
I would pay more than a lawyer. Look, women lawyers don't make that much. What, 100 grand, 120 max? What?
Okay, all right, we see you. You'd have to take off your shirt, but okay. So did you read any of the comments or no?
No, I read every single comment and commented on most of the comments.
Okay, so what you got to say? What you doing? Are you going on cologne?
Well, you know, a little Tom Ford oud wood.
What did you say to the?
Okay, I think he's trolling. I think he's doing like a Kevin Samuels troll thing.
I think so too.
What was your response to the comment?
No, it just depended on what was said in the comment. I mean, I try to keep it respectful for the most part, given, you know, the obvious disrespect, the blatant disrespect and lies and, you know, other goofball stuff, but I'm not worried about that. If it's not affecting my bank account, I'm not worried about it.
Okay. So the biggest thing, obviously, is the fact that she would date an 18-year-old.
Dang.
So that's the biggest.
So she's bringing this up like throughout different shows, like it's spanning shows. You see how it gets in her craw? It gets in her craw that she is he's willing to date an 18-year-old. Why? Because she don't want that type of competition. She don't want the competition of a younger, hotter, sexier, childless woman with eggs and stuff. She don't want that competition. Now you talk about more mature. How mature is Kendra G?
I mean, a lot
How
more
mature is
mature
she?
than an 18-year-old.
No, she is not. I can tell you that. She is not more mature than an 18-year-old at all. She's just more titty hangier than
You
an
know what it
18-year-old.
is? It
What's that?
depends if the man want to date the 18-year-old or he just want to sleep with her. I think that's the difference.
Most women, 18 or otherwise, require some form of dating prior to sleeping with them. They just do. It's unfortunate for me, but it's just a fact of the matter.
Yeah. So, besides the fact that they're young and they're hot, what are some other reasons you would mess with an 18 or 19-year-old?
Well, I mean, outside of that,
And the fertility.
yeah, outside of those three things, younger, hotter, sexier, childless thing going on, um, really they're all other things are equal.
Equal? So you're saying you're equal to an 18-year-old at 40 in your mid 40s?
Um, it depends on what a woman values,
Okay.
but no, men actually do mature in time. I have become a lot more charismatic over the years. And however, you know, there's drawbacks. And one of those drawbacks is energy, for one.
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman prefers that, then she would prefer a younger guy. Let me see. What are some of the other drawbacks? I think that's the main one. And of course, metabolism. You know, 18-year-olds have to, you know, put in less work in the gym than a man my age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. I see some
So it all
valid.
depends on what they prioritize. However, women become worse in each and every single way that men measure women.
Mm-hmm. That's
That's
true.
not necessarily true for men.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me see. Joelle said she isn't as much of a bitch as an older woman. That's true. I see that. Yeah, Kendra is starting to look a little older. You can see it around her mouth, JT. I see that. Yeah, but I guess so. I mean, some people want a pleasant, friendly girl, you know, instead of a mean bitch. You know, so I can understand that. Maybe the sex is probably better. I don't know. But what do you have to talk about with an 18-year-old? There's nothing to really talk about, like, as far as the dating goes.
Okay.
Like, the conversation. What kind of conversation would you have with an 18-year-old on a date?
You're in your 30s. I'm having this conversation with you, and I could have that conversation with an 18-year-old. This conversation we're having, I could have with an 18-year-old.
Okay.
You and I talk a lot, both on here and privately on the phone. Have we ever had a conversation that we could not have had if you were 18?
Wait, say that again?
I was saying, you and I talk a lot, both privately on the phone and publicly here. Have we ever had a conversation that you could not have had when you were 18?
No.
Well, there you go. It's the same thing. Listen, I know that there's this belief that a woman will turn 25 or something like that, and then all of a sudden, you know, you can talk about, you know, nuclear fission with her. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same crap.
Right. Don't be mad at. I don't want nobody to be mad at me in the comments because they, you know, they never heard this
This
side
is
of me.
bullshit.
So
No worries, we agree to disagree from time to time.
Mhm.
This is bullshit, JTL. So you're my dude, but this is bullshit. Women are at their sexual peak at 32 and 33.
maybe,
No,
maybe.
they're at their sexual peak at the same damn time you are.
Let
There
me
is
ask you
no.
this.
Wait. No.
Okay.
Do you want dick more now? Did you just all of a sudden one day say, you know, I want some dick more? Or
No.
is it? Yeah, exactly. I hate to tell you, you've been hoodwinked, JT Hellstorm. You've been bamboozled. Who's the
Listen.
30-year-old that's sneaking out the window to hop in some dude's car and then hope that he takes you back so you could climb back into the window before your parents wake up?
Listen.
Where's the 33-year-old women doing that?
I was a lot more spontaneous when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to do it anywhere, any place, all that. You know, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm more chill. Like, yeah, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, here's the thing. It says I'm talking about bodies. I'm talking about cougars, pumas. Listen, you know, okay. I'm saying that it's not biological. It's strategic. You know, they're doing that so they can enjoy a social life more. They're really doing that because they have to. They're doing that because it's the only way to get their phone ringing at night is for somebody to call for some booty. And many of them are doing it to feel like they're 18, 19. But is there a biological switch that turns on? No.
One thing I do know.
That's a old wives' tale.
One thing I do know about young girls is that they want you to spend. If you're not spending money on them, that's it. Like they want bags. They want.
You think
they
Kendra
want
G
expensive
don't?
shoes, huh?
You think Kendra G don't want men to spend? Do you think Vivica Fox don't want men to spend? You see, I'm telling you, nothing gets better. It's not like they get less gold diggier the older they get.
I think so. I don't think Kendra can care less because Kendra got her own coin. That's the thing.
That's what they say. But even
older women got their own money. They're more independent, so they don't.
Women with their own money, they really, that just makes it a higher bar. They're like, okay, I got my own money because I make $1 million a month. He has to make $1 million a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Oh, really, JoJo?
But no.
Older women want you to
I
spend
worked
more.
at Burger King. Yeah, that's fine. I worked at Burger King, and I could tell you that it was easier to smash girls my own age when I worked at Burger King than it is if you are like, money didn't come up. Let's put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Money came up less when I didn't have any and dealing with girls my own age. So if that was the case, then young dudes wouldn't get it at all because young dudes ain't got no damn money.
No, that's why the young girls want older because the young guys can't do for them. But the older
but my point is that but the young guys got theirs too, and they get theirs too. And the reason for that, and they get it from young women. And the reason for that is because, they're not as gold diggier, as women would put them off. You see, that's what they want to do. There has been this PR campaign against young, hot, barely legal ass. There has been a negative PR campaign, and it comes from women who are not younger, hotter, sexier, childless. It comes from their mamas and shit. I'm here to put a myth to that. That is what we want. And fellas, if you could afford it, that man paid $25,000 a cheek for that. If you can afford it, then by all means get it.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, like
I'll
I
play a little
said.
bit more of this than I played Danica Marie.
Okay. All right.
Conversation, and I knew that was going to be a big conversation. That's when I even explained it to you in the interview. I was like, "I'll be ready for your internet street shop." So, do you have any further response to, your reason? Are you standing 10 toes down?
I mean, I don't need a reason, Kendra.
Okay.
I mean, when you asked me if I was 80 dating a 60-year-old, probably not. I mean, 18-year-olds can vote and they are able to serve in war. So why are they not able to make a relationship decision? It doesn't make sense.
Okay. He has a good point to you frontal lobe people. So how come they're putting guys with no frontal lobe on the front line? And they've been doing that since forever. See?
Yeah, I swear.
Okay, well let me chime in on that.
Damn right, young women are more appreciative.
Of course, they have daddy issues. Most of them have daddy issues.
Okay.
Most of the young women dating older
now they have
men,
daddy issues. Yeah.
Right. No, I'm serious. Most of the younger women dating older men don't have a dad in their lives, or their dad is in their life. He's just not really around like that. If that makes sense. Like, he can live right in the house, but mommy handles everything. So, yeah, a lot of them is looking for that father figure.
Okay. I'm trying to wait to the part where this is bad.
What?
Well, I'm waiting for the part, like you say, they have daddy issues. I don't care. See, daddy issues don't turn me off.
Mm-hmm.
Melody, for the most part, I really don't care why a woman is sucking my dick. I really don't. Full disclosure. I think I told you this story privately. I was dating a woman who is an exotic dancer, aka a stripper.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was away, we was talking, and she was telling me about how there was, what do you call the people in a strip club? A customer. There you go. I was going to say client or something.
I used to work in a strip club. You forgot.
Okay. So she told me the story, and she said that she missed me so much that she went the extra mile on a customer that looked like me.
Oh, wow.
So, and not the extra mile as if she smashed them, but in a private room, there's like a time limit, and there's only so much like touching and grinding and crap like that you could do. And she just forget it, and she gave him a lot extra, all because his physical appearance just so happened to match mine in a time that she was yearning. Now, do you think he cares? Do you think he cares? Do you think he cares why he got the extra? Or is it because he got the extra?
That part.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care why we get what we get. We're just happy to get it. So if a woman has daddy issues, and I just so happen to look just like her damn daddy, I don't care.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You might look like him.
Yeah. I still don't care. There was an episode of Howard Stern I seen years ago. And so Howard Stern, I think that's his name. He has this white guy with this show. And on the show, what he does is he gets like a lineup of attractive women of all races. And, he asks them about themselves. And eventually he just asks them to show their titties. And that's the show. And there was one episode where he was asking about I didn't watch it regular. At the time, my roommate watched it. He asked a woman, what did he ask? He asked her about her childhood and upbringing, because this was a white woman, attractive white woman who only messed with black dudes.
Right.
He was asking why that is, and she was like, she was on some dirty uncle stuff, and the thought of
Oh,
being with the
no.
white guy reminds her of the dirty uncle type situation.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sucks.
it does suck.
Mhm.
And so the black guys that she is fucking, I don't think they give a shit. Not saying that they don't care about her, just more to the point is like they're getting something for reasons that they don't care about. Like they're smashing her. They probably wouldn't smash her if she didn't have a dirty uncle. And I don't think they care. We don't care why it happens. We don't care if a woman has daddy. I don't give a shit. And that's just me.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Your first analogy, 80 and 60, yes. That's a 20-year difference as well, too. But 60 years old has lived a lot of life experience. An 18-year-old, where I stand is 18-year-old hasn't lived enough life experience yet to know things that a woman will catch on faster because she just has life experience. We all learn through life experience. So I don't think that's a fair analogy. Yes, the age difference is the same, but the life experience isn't the same.
We don't know that. How do we know?
We do know that. I mean,
but how do we know
he's
that?
definitely trolling.
We are living in modern times. your life experience 20 years ago or however long is probably equivalent to what an 18-year-old would be experiencing, actually way worse with social media, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, the worst, just to name a few. I mean, like, it's all good. What else you got, Kendra? Oh yeah, I checked out your dating app. I love it.
I'm just gonna sit here for a little. We're gonna just park right here for 1 second. Even though, yeah, social media is a component that we did not experience when I was 18. There was no social media, but that doesn't change just who I was at 18, whether social media is involved or not. You have to go through life. You gotta. I don't know if an 18-year-old already has.
Things
It's
turn
Borging
men
really
on.
bad. It's Borging.
Yeah, that's why I paused it. Sometimes you gotta let it buffer. But and actually I'm gonna go to the next video. I'm going to Nick Murray's video. But I don't think that those things matter to men as much as it matters to women. And I know that because, like I say, I was a 16-year-old boy, and yes, having a credit card is stiff competition for me when I was just a little niggero.
Mm-hmm.
A guy comes up with a credit card and a bank account and he's able to rent a car for prom and stuff. Made things difficult for a young punk. And considering that I was not willing to date significantly younger when I was in college age, meaning I didn't get to reap the benefits. So, you have like these 25-year-old dudes, and they mess with the 16-year-olds and stuff. And, we couldn't compete. But when I was 24, 25, I wasn't willing to do the same. Mm-hmm. For a number of reasons. Like, it's always been illegal. It just was never like as frowned upon as much by society as it is today. But it was always illegal. That was illegal back then. And also, the parents were really more prone to just whooping your ass than they were to watch you go to jail over some stuff like that too. That's how it was back when I was coming up.
Hi, Bronzebird.
Say that again.
I said hi to Bronzebird. He's
yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Hey. No, I don't know what it is. Okay, so if you had an 18-year-old daughter, would you be okay with her dating a 50-something-year-old man?
No.
Okay, so why is it okay to date another father's 18-year-old if you wouldn't want it done to you?
Okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't want her dating an 18-year-old either. And yeah, quite frankly, there are very few. I don't know if there's an age range that I would feel comfortable with.
If I was 18 years, if I had an 18-year-old daughter, I would want her to date a man between the age of 18 and 25. That's the honest truth.
Okay. So she dates a 25-year-old. He breaks her heart because he's trying to gain experience. I wasn't ready to settle down at 25.
Well, let an 18-year-old be an 18-year-old. Let her experience life. Don't rob her from that. You a grown, old, elderly man. You come in and rob that little 18-year-old, that teenager, of her best years.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
let's. I knew you was gonna say that. I'm messing with you.
No, it is not. It is not. It is not robbery. Why are y'all
I'm only
acting like
kidding.
he's like
I'm
some
only
56-year-old?
kidding.
But I mean, she's trying to rob him of his $50 million.
No, I understand that, but I was
Why,
kidding.
why are y'all making it seem like, like modern 18-year-olds are on some, pigtails and puppy dogs crap?
I
Why are
know
we
they're
doing?
not innocent. They're not innocent. I know. I was only kidding, but
Yeah,
I was
exactly. You
being
know, women
real.
selling they V cards. They're auctioning off their V cards and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let an 18-year-old be an 18-year-old. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if she want to date
She
you,
is being an 18-year-old.
I don't know. That's what I would say as a mother. I'm not a mother now. I don't have kids, so
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
tell me this. Answer me this. What is being an 18-year-old nowadays?
Oh, I don't know, because I was an 18-year-old back in the way back then, back in the
I mean,
2000s.
but even
So
back then,
I was
being
an
an 18,
18-year-old back in the 2000s. So I
I
don't
get
know.
it, but even back then, being an 18-year-old consisted of smashing older men. I remember because I was there.
Right, but we didn't smash elderly men. Like,
Not elderly. Elderly is 65. And
to an
for some
18-year-old,
women, that's part of
elderly is
being 18.
60. Huh?
For some women, that's part of being 18. And also part of being 18 is 19 is smashing football players.
Oh yeah, but football
Part
players
of being
are
19 is
they're
smashing
young.
rich guys. And part of that is smashing like famous guys as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All of these things is part of a young woman experience. So he is letting her be 18. I remember I was dating this girl and her friend um, told me that she was at a concert. She was real pretty. She's at a concert. I don't know if it was 112 or Jagged Edge. And they were trying to smash, but she was into this noob that was her own age. Pretty dude too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or she was actually interested in the dude. And one of the members of either Jagged Edge or 112, I forget which group, said, "You letting these young niggas hit it for free. You might as well let me in."
Wow.
Now she didn't do it, but she did bring that philosophy back to me. She said, she was like, "Yeah, it makes sense." I was like, "Does it really?" That
Real.
also part of it, huh?
Oh no, go ahead, finish. And I wanted to tell you something funny.
Well, I'm saying that is part of the 18-year-old experience, I guess. Were we 18? Yeah, we was around 18.
No, the other day, you remember that song? Well, it's an old school song, so I don't know if you know it, but the guy who sings this song was trying to talk to me the other day. You know the song like Aisha.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
ABC
guy,
was the group. Yeah.
right? I didn't know who he was, but until he told me, and then someone else told me. But I'm like, oh, you were a kid when you sang that. So it's just weird, like seeing him as an adult. But that's neither here or there. Like, I don't know. That was something I wanted
Yeah,
to tell you.
and didn't another famous dude you was telling me, a nigga that I think is weird, didn't he try to smash too when he was younger?
Oh, it starts with a T?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just
Oh, when
part
I
of
was younger, it was football players, it was celebrities, it was rappers, it was all types of dudes wanted it.
Yeah.
But that was between the ages of 18 and now. I'm just being honest. So I don't think there's like an age gap on it. Because
And
they
there you
they
go.
go they try to
So
talk to older women too.
that is part of the 18-year-old experience, and that is determining which men between 18 and 88 you want to smash today. That is part of the 18-year-old experience.
You saying 88? It's definitely a gap. It's definitely a cap. I mean, it's definitely a cap.
That's for the woman to decide.
Yeah, I just think it's gross because I picture
That's
myself.
because it's above your cap.
Right, it's above my cap at my big age now. So just imagining an 18-year-old okay with it, to me, I just think it's gross.
You would date a dude in his 50s. You wouldn't have
50s.
dated
Yeah, 50s, but once you start getting in at 60 and up, that's
He's
pretty
nuts.
creepy. That's pretty creepy. Hell no, Bronzeberry. No. No 70-year-old men. No.
All right, let me play something for this.
Okay.
A lot of times you believe what men say. Like there's like, I don't know the woman you're dealing with. So if it's clear from the door, this is fun, nothing serious. That's all we're doing.
No,
I'm
not dating anyone. So I'm totally single. The question you asked me was the age range that I would go.
He's one of those weirdos that say question. That put an R in question.
How you say it?
Question. I can't say it like he said. Here, listen at it.
I'm not dating anyone. So I'm totally single. The question you asked.
You heard that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Where's he from?
Asked me was
the question.
The age range.
But I don't want to go. Because I don't like when people do that. I don't like when people do that, and I don't like when people say aura.
Aura. Oh, isn't that like Southern aura?
So some people say like QRS. Yeah, they instead of saying aura, they say aura.
Yeah, that's country.
So in that live, you said at 18.
26 or something.
Okay.
For y'all sisters. Yeah,
Well,
she's, I don't know, like 20 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then the last girl you slept with was 18 because you said I had to check my cash app. That's what you said.
Let me think here.
You said I had to check my cash app. She was.
So hold on. So hold on. So there's Stacy, Brenda, Letitia, Shanice.
Okay, let me ask you this, Tyree. Are you trolling me?
No, that was DMX line.
Go ahead. Him though. Like she's pressing him.
Got the name. Huh?
No, I was like, why is she pressing him so hard?
Oh, and it's 27 minutes of this, and this is, and because she wants some penis, she wanted from him. He's rich and in shape, and he looks younger than he is. She wants his penis, and yeah, she's upset that she has to contend with such a large age range.
Right.
And deep down, she knows that she has less to offer him than an 18-year-old.
I say it like this: at my age, in my 30s, stay in your lane. Everybody have a lane, and unfortunately. An 18-year-old, well, not unfortunately, but fortunately for them, their lane is a lot wider than ours. The older you get,
this is true. A lot
wider. So, yeah.
This is true, and she misses that. She misses that, being able to drive in any lane, and the shoulder of the road, type deal. She missed that without getting pulled over. She misses that.
I can see that.
Yeah. And now she has to deal with, the fact that when she get a man her own age, the only reason that he's with her is because he can't be with a barely legal version of her.
But there are some men who don't want to go that.
There's some until they see it. You sent me a video of a mama who was reasonably attractive kicking her hotter daughter out on her
Oh, that's
18th birthday.
sad. That was
Oh,
so
that was
sad. I
sad.
would
Why do you think
never.
she was doing that?
I
Why
would
do you think
never.
she was doing that? She don't want
Competition.
she don't want legal pussy in the house with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm
Yeah.
definitely close to the mama's age, but you know, I'm like, oh shit, your daughter. In fact, I was thinking that shit the other day. I was
Yeah.
thinking that shit, not the other day. I was thinking that in February or March. I was at the event, and uh, and yeah, there was a woman. She was attractive, the one who hosted the event. You know, but her daughter, I was like, ooh, damn.
See, it's always like that.
Yes, it is. And her
Now,
daughter probably was 19 or 20. I mean, well, you know, she
probably.
had to actually be able to drink.
Listen, unless you're Bernice Burgos, she's actually hotter than her younger daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's hotter than her
Okay.
daughter. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that they tried to eliminate the competition. That's all that is. Now we're going to go to Danica Marie. Dope discussions. And yeah, that's still my little sis, but we're going to disagree from time to time. And this is that time. Black men are down bad. You damn right we down bad. Anytime anybody that has to that's forced to deal with black women is down bad. You down bad when your mama is a black woman. You're down bad when your girlfriend is a black woman. You're down bad period when you're dealing is in this. You are down bad. Let's look at what down bad looks like.
Nice.
Are you training this guy?
Huh?
Are you training this guy?
You back training? That's my
Yeah.
friend. We train together, yeah.
Training together?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, keep going. How many you did?
8.
Nice, keep going. 3 left. 1. Sure. 1 more. Yeah, relax over. Why? There's a problem? We can train together?
Yeah, you can train together, but you're not
We
supposed
can't?
to train clients.
We can train together?
You can train together.
Yeah,
Training
that's my
together
friend.
with your friend is fine.
That's my
If
friend.
you're
I'm trying to help him out.
You can't train clients.
I know, I'm here a long time than you.
Okay, no problem.
Excuse
So
me.
you know, right?
I know already. Yeah.
Down bad.
So down bad.
Down bad. Yes. All right. So let me bring up Danica Marie. Hold on. But where have you been? We were just asking that on movie night. Where have you been? You haven't been around. I know you got like a new career path and all that stuff going on. Oh, she left. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Let me go to history. Lead attorney talking about it. Anybody talking about? I don't like talking about stuff everybody talking about. All right, let's see. Austin saying that Trump is destroying life for expats. I hope not. All right, history. Can't find the Danica skit on that. Oh wait. No, that's a Luxury Lives one. She did a good video today on Luxury Lives. I can't find it. Here, while I look that up, let me play the whatchamacallit, because I seen that this morning. Let me play the Chantel Simone one. Oh no, that's not this one. That was yesterday's. All right, let me see if I can find the. All right, okay. Let me just see the first video I can find. Oh, here it is. Somebody said black men don't go to college. Yeah, because you there. Why would we?
Why are we surprised? Disgusted? Yes. Surprised? No. Shannon.
Okay, so right off the bat, Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom, basically, you're not loyal to the sisterhood. So she's going to hide behind the whole concept of age, but it's really not about age. It's about the black-white thing. Once again, that is why that's really why he's getting the backlash that he's getting. And R.Kelly didn't. R.Kelly did not get that type of backlash from black women. He's getting this backlash from black women because of the race aspect.
Through the text messages, the audio that she put out, because we all heard him. I'm sick to my stomach because I hate this. Is
it's buffering. Hey, StreamYard. Let's see what y'all got to say in the comments. Most women from all ethnicities attend college more than their male counterparts anyway. Yeah, that's true. But black women, they're just looking for a up because they're tired of being down. I mean, it's sad that, they're just snatching at straws at this place. Like yeah, we're the most enrolled, we're the most educated, and blah 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 blah. They are just looking for anything to win, because they lost all competition with all women. Let's be clear. In every competition in women, they have lost. So what they're doing is they're trying to say that we're the best at something. And right now, the only thing that they have bested is convincing their men to put up with their bullshit. No other women are as adept to getting men to put up with foolishness as black women. And that's something I blame the men for. That's really their only stunt. All right, let's see what else I have to say. Oh, Chantel moved back to Jamaica. Oh, good for her. Good for her. I think she did mention that she'd like to one day, not necessarily Jamaica, but why not? Because she's from there. But she did want to move. I think she did mention something like that. So good on her that she did. Shannon is a creep. Okay. It is really sad. We can see what they're doing. Yeah, they're transparent. All right. Hopefully the buffering stopped.
It gives child predator. It gives that. It gives that. And I can't stand black men like that. I can't stand you watch them grow up and you wait until they're legal age. You 56, damn near 60 years old. What are you doing? And you have daughters too that probably have children. I didn't, I'm pretty sure they
have some colleagues, they openly admit that they just like, yeah, I want to smash my daughter's friends. There was this one white dude who his daughter came home from college and she brought like her sorority sisters back with them to stay with them for a bit. And he was like, yeah, he want to fuck his daughter's friends, his daughter's legal friends. And there's nothing wrong with that. Hell, there was a movie, American Beauty, where dude, not only did he want to, I think he did in that movie.
Pause. Somebody clarify in the comment. Did Shannon watch this OnlyFans model grow up? I'm not really following the story as clarify that statement for me, because she just said that he watched her grow up.
Good point. Good point. He did not, as far as I know, watch her grow up. He like met her on OnlyFans or on that Sugar Baby website or something, like once she became an adult.
And then now he's taking advantage of her. But twice she exposed.
By the way, Elon Musk's dad did he married his stepdaughter. So he married a woman who had a child. And then when that child came of age, he divorced the woman and married the child. The now adult child. But nobody says shit about that because he's white.
Her true hatred. She's not really mad at him for dating a younger woman. She just hates.
She hates black men who mess with white women, absolutely. Especially if they're successful. She also hates black men that messes with attractive women. So if this was a young, attractive black woman, she would still be complaining.
At 30 years old, they are.
Oh, they in the gym. Okay.
30, so them go into hiding immediately. The race play, her saying, give her a big black baby or put a big black baby in her, like, you comfortable with her talking like that, and you talking the same way to her like that. I knew that you was being recorded.
I do know that some interracial couples race play. Whether the black individual is man or female, it's, that's something that they do. That's something I've been asked to do. And to be perfectly frank, that's something I do without the other person knowing sometimes, because that shit turns me on. And if it turns you on, fellas, here's some advice. Just drop a box of Q-tips and then say something like, hey, baby, could you pick those up for me? And then watch the white woman pick cotton for you. And that shit turns me on. She may not know it, or maybe she do. Maybe she know it. But in my mind, I'm standing there like, yeah, pick that cotton. Pick that cotton. I hope your ancestors is watching. Hope they're watching. You pick that cotton for me. So he's obviously into that, and maybe he has her pick cotton, and maybe he, have her, sing the spiritual while she do it.
Just went along with the conversation anyway. I mean, you could tell that she was being recorded on both ends, and ESPN is not taking this lightly.
Who like random women in gyms? Creeps. No. Who likes random women in gyms? Heterosexual men. You damn heathen.
Honestly, they need to fire your ass. They need to fire you. It's about time for you to wrap it the fuck up. It's about time for you to wrap it the fuck on you, and you did it, Lindsay. I'm gonna just put this out there because honestly, I think you're gay.
What?
Chantel is great on the editing, what are you going to call that, where they put in the snippets to represent what's going on.
I think you're gay ever since the gay allegations of you came out. You had to put out the audio with you and Michelle. You know, we didn't ask for that. I was really disturbed. I was like, this nigga.
Why are they accusing a man that's caught in a scandal with a biological woman gay? See, when they don't have any other insults, they just say gay. Even though they're the ones who embrace, what's that nigga name? Anwar or Antoir. That dude. Like, they gave him $10,000, but you know, being a gay black man is a bad thing according to these broads.
You're really doing the fucking most for somebody that's not fucking gay. You got the fucking leak. You're fucking yourself having sex. Like, I did not want to hear that. Just cancel Shannon. Cancel him.
Yeah, that sounds personal, sis. Like, yeah, she sound triggered. She sound like she know.
She sound triggered. Chantel, she is triggered. You see, Chantel is Jamaican, and which means that, well, I'm not going to speculate. I was going to say that it means that she didn't get to see how scornful a woman gets when they see interracial relationships. But I have never been to Jamaica, and I am working from the perspective of it's an island where it's 99.9% black and the 0.1% are tourists. That being said, I don't know for certain. So I'll leave that fact out of it. What I will say is I'll never forget. I was watching, there used to be this show, which is kind of like Ninja Warrior now. And it was called American Gladiator. I was a kid. I was watching a show with my mom, and there was this guy. I think this was Two Scoops. He was like a legend on American Gladiators. Like, he was just like a superhuman athletic beast, and he was a black dude. So at the end, they had like this final round where there's an obstacle course, and he was facing a white dude, and you know, she, just like me, seen I was watching on TV, and she was like happy and hoping that the brother wins. And then she seen his fiance or wife or whatever, and she just switched up quick. She's like, "Oh damn, win, white man, win!" You know, she's just like cheering on the white man and shit like that. And she just went completely into disdain about the brother on American Gladiators just when she seen his wife. And I'm thinking, like, I'm pretty sure that the white dude's wife or fiance is also white. So what's the issue? But you know, boomers.
Oh, she passed her prime, and she can't bag a man like that. Hey, not taking any accountability away from Shannon, because you are OnlyFans model.
Stop it. Get some help.
But
so there are three women in this space. Well, there's Shay Sharpe too, and there's Bella Rings, but I'm talking about the original three that I rock with. And one, of course, is Melody, whom you've just heard. Another is Chantel, and the third is Danica Marie. all of whom have disappointed me in their handling of this Shannon Sharpe situation. Chantel least of all, but there's still, you hear the policing there in that statement, and that is, ooh, a OnlyFans model. We like pussy. And I know that Chantel admires that type of guy that maintain and holds like a higher degree of class and requires the same from his woman. But listen, we like to smash IG models, and that's just the way we are. Got to take in the good and bad.
They're hyper focus on the age aspect. What is so wrong with an older man dating a younger woman as long as she passed the legal age of consent? Why y'all so mad?
I agree.
Y'all taking it personal. Y'all taking two adults engaging in adult activity very personally. Like, dang.
Shannon Sharpe is a predator and a jigaboo, and anybody who defends him is on the same type time. And I don't want to hear nothing about no age of consent because.
Okay. I don't know what the technical definition of jigaboo is, but typically it's a, as I understand it, it is a darker than average Black American person who behaves in a way that perpetuates old-timey Southern stereotypes, and in addition to all else, is not particularly attractive. And it's typically something that is women. And that's because being dark isn't necessarily a hindrance for men. So, yeah, that's, I don't really know. It seems like she's just throwing out like old-timey terms to insult this guy.
Your actions and your value should be determined by what's right and what's wrong. Nothing more, nothing less. And if that tells me that you would be sleeping with high school students too. And if we're being honest, a lot of these older men are weird as fuck. These unks, these Uncle Shay Shays, Uncle Shaqs, Uncle Snoops, these niggas are weird. I don't know what
I'm Gen X, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's men have always liked younger women. They're trying to make the concept disgusting so men would prefer you. This is not an attractive woman, by the way. I'm not talking about Chantel. I'm talking about the woman here. She's not an attractive woman. And she has to do this to compete for my penis.
Boomer cusp. The niggas from 48 to...
That's not, it really don't matter. I'm not going to turn 48 and become weird because, you know, I will smash a woman who is 30 years my junior. That's not how weirdness works.
As fuck, they try to talk to anything that's walking, boys, girls, little girls, teenagers.
What?
Grown women, old women, it don't matter, bro. If you are over the age of 45 and you still run, okay?
Just wow, her allegation.
Don't give a damn what you think. By the way, in the Philippines, you see that all the time. These old, short, fat, bald dudes looking like a Monopoly man and shit with young hotties all the damn time. Nobody say anything.
Are wild. Saying that these men are walking around trying to sleep with anybody. She got all of that because
they're trying to sleep with anybody but her. And that's the problem. You see, there is a sexual scarcity going on in modern dating. And men have learned to make certain concessions. And for some men, that is age, and sometimes it's looks, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what they're hoping for is that during this, collective drought, whatever you want to call it, during this sexual recession, that they're hoping that the concessions that they make is ones that they can put up with. Like she's hoping that men say, okay, I got to make some concessions, so I'll take in a woman with a few extra kids, or a few extra pounds, or a few extra pounds of fake hair. I am willing to embrace that. But this concession that she don't want is she don't want it where, a man is willing to concede to a woman that is from a different culture or a different race. Or he's slightly younger than she would like. That's a concession they don't feel comfortable with. They want them to concede to them, like Donald Trump.
Encounter with adult. But you know what's funny? She's talking about hypersexual, and look at her titties.
I enjoy Chantel's obsession with titties. I'm not going to call it obsession, but I enjoy how she constantly points out the titties. Women tend to not do that. She does that. Like, she sees the titties before I do. Like, those are long titties. Her titties are out. Like, she be on it.
Single and childless, the real shame needs to be going to these old ass, grown ass men still running the streets chasing tail. I think it's weird when men.
Well, he's not running the streets. Let's start there. He's a successful person. He really hasn't anything to do with streets. He met her at the gym. Well, he'll never meet your ass. He'll never meet your ass there. According to my chat room, he met her at the gym. But what you want is you want the street runners to exist, but you want them to chase after you. That's all this is about. What she got that I ain't got is the question. And you're mad at the things that she has that you don't have. And that is youth, hotness, and whiteness.
In their 40s and 50s is still running the streets like they in their fucking 20s. Like, that's something that you should have got out your system a long fucking time ago. You've been on this earth for over half a century. OG, triple OG. How you getting got by a fucking 19-year-old? And these are the elders. These are the elders that y'all want us to respect. These jigaboo, grown-ass 50-something-year-old elders laying up with teenagers talking about, give me that baby gravy. Be so fucking for real. Like, I don't give a fuck how established he is. If he's old enough to be your uncle, he's a fucking loser. He's a predator, and he's taking advantage of you. And you're probably misguided. You probably have some daddy issues, or you're just fucking dumb. I don't know. Either or. I don't know. You pick one. It will never be cute. It will never be the tea. He will always be an old ass, dirty ass man, and you will always be a young gal that got taken advantage of. Sorry. But yeah, freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass the fuck inside. You old ass men that's eligible for AARP. There's no reason for you to be partying with women in college age women and women that's in their 30s. I don't care. Like, you can't find it with women your own age. You can't.
So she's like, you can't even get with a woman in her 30s. How much you want to bet that she's not in her 30s? How much you want to bet that, the age of woman that he should be with, she's in that age range?
Can't find it with non-black women, white women. You can't find it with Asian women. You can't find it with women that's 19. Maybe you need to go and try a man. Why don't you try and get it with a man that's your age? And maybe that will satisfy you, because that's really what y'all are looking for, if we being honest.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Yeah, their anger is so crazy to me because they don't realize that they are advertising just how bitter and pissed off.
Okay, I gotta pause it to let it buffer some. But yeah, yeah, she's right about the jealousy. And this one, just like the last one, it stems from race. Like race is a factor.
A man prefer a younger woman now. All of a sudden, he homosexual. Like, make it make sense. He has his preferences. He prefer to date younger, childless, with less baggage. I mean, in Shannon Sharpe case, yes, she's an OnlyFans mother. The ghetto. I say I'm not taking accountability away from him and his behavior. My thing is though, why they so mad? Why you so mad over what an adult do? And she calling them predator. She calling them, oh, y'all need to find a woman your own age. But when Tracy Ellis Ross said it, they come to her defense and start making up stories.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
That is true. Like Michelle Obama, like immediately backed that, and she said that she did it for physical reasons. She said that they're more attractive.
Ross meant 35. Y'all love to get on this internet acting fucking obtuse. She didn't mean 21 younger. You niggas love to try to, get status behind your predatory actions.
No, did Tracy Ellis Ross say that in the clip?
No.
Did Tracy Ellis Ross specify what age group she's dating, or did she just say she dates younger men? Younger men for Tracy Ellis Ross is anything under 52. But she wants to come and justify their talking points and make excuses for their toxicity by saying, oh, well, she didn't specify. She meant 35. She tell you that? We have to go off based on what she said in the clip. And in the clip, she said younger men. So why y'all don't have the same energy for her as y'all have for Shannon Sharpe? Y'all see the hypocrisy right there? And that is my main thing. It's the hypocrisy. If we're going to call Shannon Sharpe a predator, call him a predator. If we're going to cancel him, let's cancel him. Whatever we're going to do, let's do it. But keep the same energy for Tracy Ellis Ross, no? Keep the same energy for her. We want to say, oh, well, she's an adult.
Okay. I'm multitasking right now, so I got to get back to work. How much? All right, I got 3 minutes. But no, she's making a great point. Tracy Ellis Ross, nobody really gave her the flack the same way they're not giving R.Kelly they didn't originally give R.Kelly as much flack. And once again, it's about both race and age difference. It really, see, Black women, instead of for trying to be the woman that you want, they try to shame you for wanting it.
Shannon Sharpe, and so is the OnlyFans model that he decided to hire. He should have known better, yes, but he's an adult and he can do whatever he want to do. But here how they're an incident that they have nothing to deal with. I can guarantee you, if men of means, if men who have value and have money wanted them, they wouldn't have been so triggered over these men going for younger women. If men were choosing them and younger women at the same rate, they wouldn't care. They only care because these men aren't choosing them.
I said what I said.
Shit, he's talking shit. Says Chantel can't even keep a man. Where's her man? Well, she keeps her personal life separate. But fellas, press 1 in the chat room if y'all want her to keep you.
She meant fucking 35, 40. Not 60 and 50. Obtuse about power dynamics.
So, and this goes into the Tracy Ellis Ross thing. She did mention that she wanted to have power over him. Not directly, but it was more to the effect of she wanted him to be of a certain mindset. And when they say toxic masculinity, that means that he wants power. So she don't want to compete for power, and she don't feel like she has to with younger guys. What if Shannon Sharpe is up the same line?
Like the average 50-year-old woman is not dating a 20-year-old. Let's cut the fucking shit. Like, just say.
Chantel needs an English class. You need a Jamaican ass.
You like little girls, you like young girls because they're easy to manipulate, but stop trying to make a thing. Tracy Ellis Ross, men I like younger men. And the context clues, inference, y'all are just dumb as a box of fucking rocks, man. She meant 35 years old, 40,
Really? Did she?
50.
Did she?
Y'all know which languages I don't like or which accents I don't like. I wouldn't say Jamaican is on the list of ones I don't like. It's Urdu. I'm neutral on that particular accent. We don't have many of those out here. Of people like that, people of Jamaican descent here in California. Let me see. What else? What non-Oriental accent I would say I don't like? Well, Indian. It's very high pitched, but then again, it depends. It depends on the context. Like on a day to day, I don't mind it. I do mind it when you work in tech and you need like to understand something in very specific and particular details, and the accent does sometimes get in the way of that. So, but I wouldn't say I don't like it. What else is one I don't like? Maybe Irish. It's a bit loud. Yeah. I actually don't. I didn't mind like Whitley's accent on A Different World, but there's different types of. There's that whole Chitlin accent that I don't like. I don't like that Chitlin accent. Girl, child. I don't like that crap. I don't mind the Louisiana woman, the Popeyes woman. What is it? Is it Louisiana? I know for some reason she says Louisiana. Maybe that's a type of fried chicken on Popeyes, but the woman on Popeyes, and I think it's a fake accent. I don't mind. I don't mind that. But there's certain places that has like this Chitlin accent, this mammy accent that I don't like.
Ever. But when Tracy Ellis Ross said she wants a younger man because he's easy to adjust to her lifestyle, isn't that controlling? Use context clue and put it together, ma'am. Isn't that?
You know what I don't like? I don't like Baltimore accents. I think it's funny and weird at the same time. It's not that I dislike it. It's just like I just look like, why do you niggas talk like that? Every time I hear them say something where there's a letter O in it. Like when I was watching Wire and dude was like, I gotta go too. I was cracking the fuck up. Like really? It's people that actually talk that way? So yeah, I don't like that. Somebody said Midwest. I actually liked Nelly's accent, who is the only person I know who talk like that. There's Memphis, and the only person I know that was mimicking that accent was Terrence Howard in the movie Hustle and Flow, and I don't mind that one. So yeah, some I like and some I don't. Jamaican is just somewhere in the middle. I like the Haitian accents. I do like that. But maybe I just like Haitian women.
She trying to manipulate somebody? Isn't that she trying to take advantage to put her beliefs and her values onto somebody, control them? Use context clue in that situation, but then again, it exposes their hypocrisy. They only see these things as one-sided. They can only see the flaws when men do it, but when women do it, let's turn a blind eye, especially Black women. But here in the first clip post, she said, I hate Black men like that. They're exposing their true intention. They're exposing their true anger. They hate to see Black men succeed. They hate to see Black men do whatever they want to do, regardless of the limitations that
And that's what it
Black
comes
women
down
want to
to.
put on Black.
And that's what it comes down to. And I really wish I had time to cover Danika's on that, because that's exactly how I feel. I felt that there was a lot of hate. There was a lot of hate coming up off that couch. I felt that there was a lot of hate on Black men doing whatever they want to do within the legal confines. And I want Black men to explore more and do more within the confines of the law, as we so please. They don't have a problem with us, going outside the confines or thinking outside the box. Ooh, he a scammer, or some crap like that. But let you stick your wick in something, or in a woman who is of legal age, but they don't feel that you should, because they feel that you should be trying to smell their panties. Let them do that, and then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose when that happens.
Black men are going to say, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. If that means dating non-Black women, if that means dating younger.
I might say she has a weave in. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know if she does, because I'm not good at judging such things. But I do think that in what she has there going on is there's fake hair involved. Is that a weave? No, I don't think so. I think that it is like synthetic hair, or hair from a different source braided into her head, as opposed to woven in, which really means that she can, and very likely does, and probably is more incentivized to wash her damn hair, which is something that most Black women aren't privy to, because they got all kind of glue and shit, and then when you take all that out, it's just a bunch of dandruff and matted, and it's just nasty.
Woman, if that means going overseas and finding my peace, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and that triggers them.
She killing it.
And their long titties, so that
See,
is
there
what.
you go. Titty talk. I gotta say, these are some big titties. I really wonder what she looked like when she was younger. I'm not saying that she was particularly a beautiful woman, but when those titties were up, I'm pretty sure they were just like up, and she was just out with it. Like she was just, um, you spin my head round, 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 round. Like she was just big titty Tanisha walking down the block or the village or wherever the fuck she comes from. Like she was that girl. And then this happened. Somebody said, who grandma is that? That's somebody grandma who breastfed the grandkids too. That's who grandma that is.
trigger them. The simple fact that Shannon Sharpe would rather go with an OnlyFans model who is 19 instead of picking up one of them and their long titties is what's triggering them. Yeah, if you missed the video I did on Tracy Ellis Ross, it's linked right here. The absolute ghetto.
The ghetto.
Big up yourself. I'll see you guys in the next video.
All right, so that's it for me here. Actually, that's not it for me. Let me just check to see if I have any super chats before I go, or cash apps before I go. Oh crap! Too many things. All right, let's see. All right, cool. All right, so I want to thank the super chats. I want to thank the managers and moderators, those who are listening silently, those who participate in the chat. Special thanks to my members. And this is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.